How's it going, guys, and welcome back. In this video we're going to be checking out how we can obtain all 3 different endings in Layers of Fear 2. There is going to be a separate achievement and or trophy for each and every ending. There's going to be the Flame one for obeying the director, the Formless for succumbing to madness, and Forever for disobeying the director. So what exactly does this mean and what does it come down to? Well, in the first 4 acts of the game, each chapter is going to have a scenario or situation where you have a choice to make. For example, in Act 1, it's a very clear cut. When you get near the end of the first chapter, there's going to be a scenario where you pick up a gun and you need to make a choice whether to shoot the mannequin on the left or the mannequin on the right. When you pick up the gun, the voice in the background, the one they refer to as the director, will ask you pretty blatantly to shoot the person on the right. So this is where we have to make a choice. If we wish to obey the director, we would shoot the mannequin on the right. If we wish to disobey, we would shoot the one on the left. And there was one choice like these in each of the first 4 acts of the game. So that makes the Flame ending very easy and straightforward. All we need to do is obey the director on every one of these decisions. And the same goes for the Forever trophy, which is for disobeying the director on every decision and then finishing the game. But then there's that third final one called Formless. For this one we need to succumb to madness. All that means is that we need to make mixed decisions. So on 2 of the chapters we need to obey the director, and on 2 chapters we need to disobey the director and then finish chapter 5 and we'll get the Formless ending. But doing the entire game 3 times just for these trophies can be a little bit tedious. Luckily for us, there's a little bit of a nice trick we can do. As many of you know, when you finish the game, you get to go through to New Game Plus, and on New Game Plus, you can actually chapter select. And this is quite the advantage when it comes to getting all 3 endings. So let's say, first of all, we do the first playthrough obeying the director on every single decision, therefore we get the Flame ending. Then we go into New Game Plus and simply replay the first 2 chapters, as there's the shortest ones, and this time we want to disobey on the first 2 chapters. And here's the good bit about New Game Plus on this game, it remembers the choices from the previous playthrough, so as long as we don't play through chapter 3 and 4 on New Game Plus, the game will automatically remember the decisions we made on the previous playthrough. Therefore, as it stands, after replaying chapter 1 and 2 with the disobedience decisions, we technically have 2 chapters with disobedience and 2 chapters with obedience from previous playthrough. So now we can skip straight to chapter 5, finish chapter 5 again, and this will give us the Formless ending because we'll have 2 obedience and 2 disobedience. Now one final time after obtaining the Formless ending, start New Game Plus up again, and this time simply do chapter 3 and 4 and disobey in both of them. This way the game will remember that the previous playthrough, chapter 1 and 2, was already on disobedience, which means we only need to replay act 3 and 4 on this 3rd playthrough and disobey in both of them to make sure we have disobedience in all 4 of the acts. Now that we have all 4 on disobedience, we want to go through and play chapter 5 one final time, and this should give us the Forever trophy for disobeying the director. And this will also give us the trophy Rule of 3, which is for witnessing all 3 endings. I've also been told that for the Rule of 3 trophy, you actually need to get all 3 endings on the same save file anyway, which makes it double worth to use the method I just mentioned before. So that is pretty much everything you need to know about these. I will quickly jump into each decision in each chapter for those of you who may be wondering which is the good and which is the bad for whatever reason, though it's pretty clear in game when you're playing, but just in case, here we go. In the first chapter, like we said before, if we wish to obey the director, we would shoot the mannequin on the right. If we wish to disobey, we would shoot the mannequin on the left. In chapter 2, if we wish to obey, we need to simply stick with our instincts and keep fighting each time we get the decision to choose. And then if we wish to disobey the director, we want to keep on selecting to give up. In act number 3 on the game, if we want to obey the director, we need to not shoot at Lily, but shoot at the puppets surrounding us instead. However, if we wish to disobey the director, we'll need to shoot at Lily walking along the plank. In act number 4, if we wish to obey the director, once we get to this corridor with the water starts flooding in, we want to simply turn around and go back the way we came from instead of trying to fight the current. However, if we wish to disobey the director, we'll want to keep on walking forwards through the water as far as we can until we get to the end of the hallway. So those are all the choices you have in game. I hope you did find this video helpful. If you did, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.